probably one of the early JCCSs, maybe 2005, I think it was. Well, I think it was the first JCCS I went to. There was a whole group of these, probably like maybe 4 or 5 of them. It's like, wow, man, some of them had like the Bose Suzuki pipes and that sort of thing going on, like the whole crazy shit. And I was like, whoa, these things are awesome. And I went and got a closer look and I was like, these cars are sexy, man. You know, I remember when they first came out, they were everywhere. And I just really liked the aesthetic and how it looked when it was fixed up.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Motive Anatomy. Today we have Alain. Thank you so much, man, for making the time for us. I really appreciate it, man. So tell us, man, what do you drive?
This is a 1988 Toyota Cressida. Let's see here. Yeah, 88 Cressida. Chassis.
You forgot your car.
Chassis code is MX73. That's what they're often referred to as in all the forums. This has been in a family for a pretty long time.
Man, that's pretty cool. And every time I see a Cressida, I think of grandma's sofa seats, and we're gonna get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But so tell us, man, I mean, thank you so much for making the time for us. It's the second time for you. You had a Datsun 620. You sold that one, which was pristine. Tell us a little bit about the Cressida. How did that come about? I mean, were you itching for a Cressida right off the bat, or?
The first time I saw one of these was back in probably one of the early JCCSs, maybe 2005, I think it was. Well, I think it was the first JCCS I went to. There was a whole group of these, probably like maybe 4 or 5 of them. And I remember walking by and you know, anyways, I saw like 4 or 5 of them and I was like, wow, man, some of them had like the Bose Suzuki pipes and that sort of thing going on, like the whole crazy shit. And I was like, whoa, these things are awesome. And I went and got a closer look and I was like, these cars are sexy, man. You know, I remember when they first came out, they were everywhere, like every single middle-aged person, grandmother, whatnot, had these cars back in the 80s and 90s, and they were all over the place. And I just really liked the aesthetic and how it looked when it was fixed up, because I never seen one dropped and with like.
Really?
Up to that point, I hadn't. It was only at when I went to Japanese classic car show that I had seen one fixed up for the first time. And the first time I did it, I like fell in love right away. I was like, man, I'm gonna own one of those one day. So that's how it ended up happening. That's how it started.
Wow. And yeah, like you mentioned, not a lot of people want to modify them because they're the family car, they're the sedans. It almost reminds me, they're like the Accords of the Honda world. They're supposed to be grocery gators. They're not sporty, they're not super light, blah, blah, blah. But then you see this huge jump of aftermarket support and dudes just swapping things out and kind of going crazy. So then you picked this one up. What was your vision for it, man?
My vision for it? Just to make a cool daily driver, honestly. I mean, you know,
This is your daily?
This is my daily.
Crazy.
Well, I found out when you have 2 separate cars, one for your hobby and your daily, I don't know, you don't get to like live it, I guess. I don't know.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? You don't get to be in it every day. You just only on it like on the weekends or when you're out at car shows or whatnot. So this was kind of a way to combine my daily driver with something that I was already passionate about. And now that I don't have 2 cars to worry about, this one gets all the attention.
Gets all the attention.
Well, I mean, from me anyways. Like I'm able to put all of my attention into one car.
No, awesome car, dude. I mean, it really definitely stands out, even though it's very subtle. Cool, man. So then tell us a little about the front end.
I mean, the way that you see the car as it sits, this is pretty much, I don't want to say pretty much stock, but I mean, it's as close to stock as you're going to get. All I really did was change the suspension and the wheels. I modified the front grille because the stock grille, I don't know, it's kind of weird looking. It's very chunky looking and has, it always, the original grill kind of reminded me of a Japanese barbecue grill. So I always call it the barbecue grill whenever I see it, a stock one. And I saw somebody, I think his name's, I don't know what his name was, somebody on Facebook, Koi, I think it was. He did this to his grill and I saw it and I was like, that inspired me, of course. And so I got a hacksaw blade and chopped it up and put this mesh on. Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit cleaner now.
Oh, super clean. Yeah, super simple. I mean,
but otherwise the front is all USDM. There's nothing imported. It's just all US parts, and then the hood ornament is an accessory, obviously.
Super nice.
Yeah.
Now, are you planning to do anything, I guess, imported? Are you planning to change do a facelift or maybe switch up fenders, hood, things like that?
Right now, I'm pretty much going to leave it the way it is. I actually had a set of Japanese bumpers, front and back, but I let them go because one of my friends wanted it a lot more than I did.
Okay, there you go.
So I was like, hey man, you know, if you want it that badly, dude, just take them. So I let those go. I'm actually okay with these. A lot of people call these the park bench bumpers because they're kind of
so long.
Yeah, because they're kind of chunky looking.
It's always
but
the same thing. We want the opposite. If we had the skinnier ones here, you would want the long ones because
dude, we always want what's, you know, on the other yard. You know what I mean? Grass is always greener, as they say. You know.
That's what they say. Cool. So then tell us about your suspension pieces, man.
Up front, I went with Techno Toy tuning, coilovers set up in the front, and then urethane bushings all around.
Nice.
In the rear, I used Supra Mark II springs
Okay.
and Camaro AGX shocks.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a modification that I saw online, and decided to
try it out.
try it out.
It's
yeah.
working?
I mean, it's cheaper than putting coilovers in the back, that's for sure.
Wow.
And it sits right where you see it. Like, I didn't modify anything. I literally just dropped the MK2 springs in, and the lower, shorter shocks, and it sits
It's just perfect.
It sits right where you see it. Yeah.
What are the future plans for the suspension?
For suspension wise, not much right now. I'm pretty much going to leave it the way it is. Yeah, it rides nice the way it is, so I'm not going to mess with it.
Okay. That's it. Plus, it's your daily.
Yeah.
Your commute's not short by any means.
30 miles round trip.
That's
Oh, sorry.
No,
30
one
mile,
way.
35 miles one way.
one way. I was
so
like, round trip.
fucking
Like, you're crazy.
Yeah, a little.
So that's a lot of miles, and I love the fact that you're doing it in an 80s car. You know, it's like that's cool. That's
Thanks,
cool. I like
thanks,
that.
man.
Tell us about the wheel and tire setup, man. What do you got going on?
Let's see. The wheels I got from a very generous friend of mine. He hooked me up with the wheels. I got a really good price on them. Excuse me, good price on them. The wheels are Hayashi Techno Phantom.
I love these
It's
type
a
of wheels, dude.
imported wheel. They're vintage. I think they still make these, but I don't remember if they're. I don't remember.
No, I get you. Do you know the wheel specs?
They're 14 by 6.5 wheels, plus 5 offset.
Ooh, aggressive.
Yeah.
Nice. Love it. And then is that a square setup for the rear as well? The same specs?
Yep. Yeah, they're not staggered.
Love the mud flaps, by the way.
The what?
The mud flaps?
Those are stock.
Yeah, they look nice. Man. They just,
They do, and it makes the car look lower than it actually is. I'm starting to, I'm dragging them. Well, not that one so much, but the front one, it drags a lot, so you're starting to see them fray at the bottom. But they're like a $20 part, so.
It means it's asking you need to go lower.
Yeah, I know. Eventually, I mean, right where it sits now, it rides nice, so I'm gonna leave it for a little while.
I hear you. And then the rear wing, did you add it on, or that came with the car?
This is a OEM Toyota part. I ordered it from Saudi Arabia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. When it was in the States, it was an accessory part that you could get from the dealership, but you had to order it at the time. So if you see a Cressida that has one of these wings, it generally means that it was on there from factory, like when they bought the car. But this one I had to order overseas.
Cool. And so obviously just the rest of it is stock.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, other than the steering wheel, everything's pretty much OEM.
Go ahead. All right, man. So tell us about the interior. What do you got going on?
The interior is, this is from factory. This is the way it came. There were a couple of different packages that came from Toyota, from what I know. This was the highest package, which is a tufted pillow top leather. It's cracking now. Obviously, it's 30 some odd years old, but this is how they came back then from the factory. Leather door panels, leather seats. The floor mats are custom. I got those done from I want to say Alpha Garage on Facebook. So I ordered those. I had those done. Steering wheel is Izumi steering wheel, wood with Tom's horn button. I put in a sound system, but otherwise everything is from the dealer.
Nice. What are the future plans for the interior?
Eventually, Recaro seats will go up front.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Recaro for the front if I can't find an original velour interior. Right now I'm trying to find a velour interior because they came in, I'm not sure if you've ever seen velour before.
I have.
Oh, you have? It's like the ribbed 80s kind of looking, yeah. I'm looking for something like that. If I could find a full interior, I would for sure do an interior swap and do all velour inside. If I can't, then I'll eventually put Recaro seats in.
Cool.
Yeah. This is how they came in the back. A lot of people who know about this car don't necessarily know that this was Toyota's luxury car that predated Lexus.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So basically, the Cressida came out in 75, I think it was in Japan, 74, 75. And this was their top of the line luxury car all the way until the early 90s. Lexus didn't hit the States until 1987, I think. And once Toyota started producing Lexuses, they
went away from these.
yeah, they transitioned out of these completely. And then this was like basically the format for future Lexuses to come.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so this was the precursor to Lexus essentially.
It's daily, so it's okay.
Yeah, dirty daily, as they say. This is a stock 5M engine. This is the one that it comes with from factory.
You sure daily this. This is a big motor. I mean,
It is. It's actually a pretty like long engine bay when you compare it to other Toyotas. Obviously, it's 6-cylinder. Most of the Toyotas are 4-cylinder.
And obviously, like you mentioned, people, especially in the drift world, right away they go and swap it out or they boost it, and then all of a sudden it's like, rear wheel drive, boosted.
Yeah.
Then it's a party type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. For me, this is just this is my daily for now, so I'm just gonna leave it the way it is until this engine completely goes kaput. I'm just gonna leave it in there and continue driving it the way it is.
If it goes kaput, are you gonna put another stock engine?
Probably 1UZ or 2J.
Oh, look at that.
That's later. No, because it's it's the original engine and it still runs good. I'm just gonna ride it until the wheels fall off, so they say, so to speak.
That's cool, man. And how many miles does it have?
126,000.
120. That's super low, man.
Yeah, it actually had 110 when I got it, so.
You put in the work, yeah. That 60-mile commute. Start adding up.
Yeah, now future plans probably just interior for now. That's probably going to be the only thing that I change on this.
Just interior as the future plans.
Yeah,
Cool.
Interior. Oh, the wheels. Regarding the wheels, the original vision for the car, I wanted Colin Star Sharks.
Oh,
So if
okay.
anybody has a clean set out there, no, just kidding. That was the wheel I always envisioned this car having. I'd seen it on other Cressidas and it just looks amazing. And these are close. It is kind of a Ninja Star sort of pattern.
Yeah, I can see it.
But it wasn't what I originally wanted. So yeah, definitely down the road it's going to get some Colin Star Sharks. That's probably going to be the long and short term goal. What was the other question?
Shout outs.
Oh yeah, shout outs. Check out the guys over, and although these are Datsun guys, check out Chuck over at Datsun Garage in Long Beach, as well as Japan Auto Engineering in La Habra. Eric he got his own thing going on out there. He's got a good shop out there. Check those guys out. I wanted to say thanks to Ray for the wheels, and to George for inspiring me with all the VIP stuff and constantly sending me inspiration for things to do with my car. Yeah, George. Yeah, George. That's George. Yeah, right. Yeah, George. That's my dude, man. So, anyways, thank you everybody for checking this out. Hopefully, this will bring more awareness to a car that doesn't really have a lot of recognition. In my opinion, doesn't have a lot of recognition.
No, yeah.
Maybe it's just because I don't get out enough.
No, well, compared to the other ones.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So there you go.
Well, thank you so much, man, for making the time. I really appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you,
I
man.
really like the color scheme that you're going with. It looks super nice, just rolling. I love the fact that this is your daily. Keep it the way it is, honestly. Not everything has to be swapped. Congratulations on being the second automatic in the entire automotive anatomy. I'm the first one. We haven't had an automatic
this
ever
is
since.
second automatic. Damn, man.
People don't like
Yeah.
automatics, so yeah, putting it down. That's cool, man.
Yeah, man. It's a slow and low daily driver. For anybody that is disappointed in the fact that it's an automatic, when the engine finally does die, I am going to switch to a 5-speed. So.
All right.
Future plans, as they say,
plan.
future plans. Anyways, hey, thanks for coming out, man. It's always good to see you. See you at every single show, and it's been amazing.
No, thank you,
Yeah.
and to the Datsun dudes who gave me the shot when the channel was barely starting, and so I'm never gonna forget that. So, George, Freddie, Alain, thank you so much, man. You guys were definitely the ones that pushed me to continue. So thank you.
Yeah, you got it, man. guys that approach me most, and unfortunately it's usually guys that approach me, but about the car, they you better edit that part out.
I'll put that in
It's
there.
it's guys that approach me about the truck.